Hello, 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 and welcome back to Talking to Tequila with Chloe. With me, Chloe. Nailed it. The last 2 weeks, I fumbled that. 2 weeks in a row, I was saying, hello, 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 and welcome back to Talking to Tequila. That's me, Chloe. But you guys know the last 2 weeks I've been, not really with it, in need of a vitamin, in need of a sunshine, in need of a vitamin C, in need of a vitamin reprieve from this fucking hellhole, which is what I'm here to give you this week, you guys. I have a really light, bright, airy show for you this week. We are talking e.l.f. lip balm, the scandal, attic remodel, karma, what does that mean? You'll find out. Tequila time, the Blue Origin ship takeoff. I can't wait to talk about that. A new segment. I'm introducing a new segment. Trust Clo Go. Trust Clo Go. More on that. I'm going to leave you at the edge of your seat, okay? Trust Clo Go. Brainstorm what that could mean because it's really fun and exciting. Summer house. In this week, I spent time thinking about my Sva Sva because I also felt like I was not planning properly. And I feel like I really dropped the ball with my Sva Svas the last 2 weeks as well. But honey, we're back. What did I say last week? I'm going to drink an energy drink. I'm going to get my shit together. And my shit together I got. And then, of course, we will close out this podcast with a little politicking. That will be the very last segment after Sva Sva. And I'll get into that later why I want it to be the very, very, very last segment. Now, let me point out a few things before we get started. First and foremost, today's episode is brought to you by e.l.f. Just joking. That's a lie. I am joking. Do not sue me. I'm just putting on some e.l.f. lip gloss. They're a new melting lip balm. And we will get into my e.l.f. drama here shortly. I'm mixing two colors. I am mixing the Yummy Gummy and I am mixing the Wild Cherry because I feel like that really ties into my look this week. A little bit of swirly combination. It's the two of us. We can make it if we try. Just the two of us. You and I. Now, am I saying that e.l.f. is replacing CarMax? It depends on who pays me more. So that's really going to just depend on if e.l.f. and CarMax come to the table. I'm going to need to see numbers. I'm going to need to see projections. I'm going to need to see brand trip possibilities, okay? But as of right now, I'm rocking with e.l.f. heavy. I will also say this week's episode is not brought to you by Alani Energy Drink. This is what I was drinking to get myself hyped up before this episode, which I think I'm going to have to invest in. If anyone wants to have me be an investor in Alani, let me know. Because I do feel like it added a little pep to my step. Quaalude Chloe's nowhere to be found. Now, can I guarantee you a crash isn't coming? No, I'm not going to guarantee that. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Now, if anyone is watching on YouTube, I hope they do notice something different. I hope they notice something in the background. I hope they notice that I invested in some new decorations for my podcast. If you remember last week or 2 weeks ago, I broke some of my decorations. Well, I went to Michael's and they were freaking 60% off, buddy, or 30 or 40. I can't remember. It was really a lot. I think it was 50% off or 60% off. I got a beautiful C that's bubbly. I got my little balloon dog back. Now, is it quite perfect? No, it's not, but it's a work in progress, baby. Okay, Rome wasn't, wait. Do I want to be comparing ourselves to Rome right now? Probably not. Let me compare it to what wasn't built in a day. What wasn't built in a day? What wasn't built in a day? It's like the candles don't melt in one sitting. You know what I mean? So let's just manage our expectations here. Now, I do want to get straight into my e.l.f. melting lip balm drama, okay? Which some of you might not even know about. Let me take a sip of my Alani. Because what are we doing, women, this week? And my few male listeners? we're prioritizing ourselves as to not fall into oblivion of despair. So if I have to take a sip of my Alani, that's only going to benefit you guys, right? Because Coco's here and she's ready to fucking rock and roll, baby. Now, if you don't know, about a month ago, actually about a month and a week or a month and 2 weeks ago, I posted a video when the tariffs first came out being like, fucking the man can fucking suck it. Like, you think you think we need to go shopping? Honey, we'll never fucking shop again. You know, really hyped up. And the sentiment I still agree with. Like, still haven't been to Target. No, sorry. Like, have not, like, do you know how many times I've wanted to go into like Ulta and just go wild? Beyonce's new hair care line is in Ulta. Would I love to just buy the entire line and test it for you guys and try it? Of course. Am I going to? No, right? So the sentiment's been the same, kind of saving money, being smart with our decisions, trying to source a lot of things from home. Like, we don't know how bad things could get. And the tariffs are so like chicken, like, are they being implemented? Are they not being implemented? That it really is kind of smart to, you know, prioritize your money and only really spend it where you need to. So after like 4 months of Trump being in office, and by the way, this is not politics right now. I know it kind of sounds like it, but it's getting to my elf video. I'm just giving you the setup. So please don't go anywhere, honey. If you don't want to hear about politics, this isn't politics. It's setting up for the elf, okay? Okay. Thank you so much, honey. I love you. Thank you for listening. I'm not a big fan of ASMR, but I know some people are, so you're welcome. I just gave you a little treat. And if you don't like ASMR like me, I actually find ASMR to be basically one of the most Creep Nation things you can do. I really don't like, to me, whispering into a microphone is like when someone puts their finger right up on your shoulder and neck. It makes me go, God damn, God, why are you doing that? So if you don't like ASMR, even though I just did it, know that we're very similar, honey. Yes, twinning. Okay, anyways. So being pretty frugal, like not going crazy, not buying a lot of things. Like, I still haven't tried the Patrick Ta foundation, even though I think it was literally formulated for me, but I can't spend $80 on foundation. And I was in Ulta getting shampoo, and I saw these $9 e.l.f. melting lip balms. And I thought, wow, what a perfect compromise. Some people have asked me to be doing a little bit lighter content sprinkled in if I can. Some people want a little reprieve from politics. It's not going to break the bank. They're $9 lip glosses. That's very affordable for people. Let me get these lip glosses and try them. Okay. And I did a nice little video, and it happens to be that right now, because tariffs are so on and off, and last week in particular was like a really crazy tariff week, my tariff video started to pick up speed again and go viral again. And I had posted my e.l.f. review video, and several people went on to my page and said, how disappointing that we just watched your video about not spending money, only to find that you are pushing products, promoting products, and promoting consumerism. And I posted 2 pretty poignant videos on my page, like explaining, like, I've posted literally hundreds of videos about politics. My entire reason, you know, I watch 2 girls on TikTok pretty religiously, Allison Epp and Taylor. And they post really light and bright content, and I have been feverishly jealous of them the last few months. They'll still repost stuff that's going on with politics, so I know where they stand, which is obviously, I think, with me. Not with me, but like against the administration. But I have been feverishly jealous that they have found, I don't know if it's a balance or not, but a way, I guess, to still like repost videos that they feel passionately about, but while sticking to their light, bright escapism content. Whereas I'm so, overcome and consumed by it that my page has really taken a wild turn. I don't know if anyone would describe it as light and bright, maybe sometimes, but in general, I mean, it is just like pedal to the metal, spreading the word, reporting things that need reported. Even though I'm not a reporter, I don't have an education in like history. Like, I'm not good at that kind of stuff. I just read the AP, Associated Press, because I find them to be quite reliable and non-biased, and just try to regurgitate things that I think people might not, maybe if they don't follow the AP Press, things like that. So I've been really jealous of people that have been able to have light, bright content. And I really said to myself, because I do also go online and on podcasts for escapism. So I was like, let me try to offer a little bit of escapism again. And I post this video and these girls come on and say, this is so disappointing. And after I've posted hundreds of videos about the administration, about trying to be smart, about trying to be frugal. And by the way, this is why I'm saying it. I'm trying to be as crystal clear as possible. That's not the content I want to be making. I want to dance in my makeup room. I want to try on clothes. I want to paint my nails and show you guys. I want to goof around. I want to sit in front of the camera and talk. Some of my favorite videos that people used to really like were me sitting in front of the camera and just talking about nothing for 10 minutes, cackling, talking about work, talking about this, talking about that. And my mind is so consumed with what's going on. I couldn't even sit in front of the camera for 10 minutes and talk without it becoming a downer, negative, serious, political. So for me to try really hard to make, put on a happy face and, try to be light and bright and show these lip glosses that maybe the girls might like. And for people to say like they're disappointed in me, I let them down. It's hypocritical. I don't practice what I preach. As a people pleaser, I found that to be one of the hardest pills to swallow since I started making content online. And my initial reaction was I felt like misunderstood. I felt judged. And I felt that people pleaser in me start to panic. Upon reflection and taking a step back, I know who I am. I know I'm only human. I know that no one on the face of the earth follows through in totality every single thing they say. Do you know how easy it is to say things? Well, hold on. Let me step that back. Okay. I follow through on almost everything I say, right? But not to perfection, okay? And also I'm also realistic. Like, let's not spend money on bullshit. Let's try to save. Let's try to help each other. Let's try to get through this. But of course someone's going to pick up a magazine when they're in line and throw it on the counter to buy. Of course someone's going to buy a lip gloss. Of course, I have a bag right here with 2 new summer outfits from American Eagle. Like, we're going to save and we're going to be smart, but we're also going to understand what we want to or not want to prioritize with spending extra money. And really how I really ended up feeling about it was, and I mean this, I really hope it doesn't come off as dismissive, but how I really feel about it is those people can go fuck themselves to every continent on this planet. It's like, I know that I'm doing the best I can online. And I know in my heart that I have made different changes and prioritized things differently in my life. I know that a $9 lip gloss does not contradict every single thing I've ever talked about online. And by the way, sometimes I do contradict myself online. Do you know I told my friend the other day I've never had hot pot in my life. I don't know what it is. I don't know how to do it. I'm scared. How do you order it? Where is it from? And then at the same time, we literally realized that I have a video on TikTok of me eating hot pot. I did not know that that was hot pot that I was eating. I had no idea. I don't even know what hot pot is. But I went to a hot pot restaurant in Seattle, so I might say things. Also, do you know that there have been times that I've been like, I don't know that man, I've never heard of that man, like an actor. I don't know that man, I've never heard of that man. That man is a stranger to me. And then like, they'll be in one of my favorite movies ever in existence, and I'll be like, is that man that man? I didn't know that. I mean, he has damn gray hair in here. What the heck? He got brown hair here, red hair here. Like, that literally is normal. It is normal. And so, not to be harsh, not to be callous, not to be cruel, but I really just realize I don't give a fuck about those people. If you really watch my shit and you really know what's up, like, you'll know my intention. And if I am not absolutely perfect in every single step of the way, I am happy with that, because I would never expect perfection from someone else, and I don't want anyone to expect perfection from me. Do you know what I mean? Like, I cannot stress enough that I am not your perfect content creator. Do not put me on a pedestal. Do not hold me to a standard of, knowing all. And in fact, I think it's really funny that my episode last week, I was talking about how I don't want to come off as being perfect. I'm still trying to figure out I say F people that, like the administration. And then one of my best friends likes the administration, and I love her so deeply and dearly, and I've known her for so long that I would rather try to be friends with her and flip her than to cut her out of my life. You know what I mean? So I'm glad that happened. I'm being so crystal clear. I am not your perfect content creator. I am like you. I'm a normal girl, and we're all trying to make it through this administration. And self-cannibalizing will be the absolute detriment of whether or not we, make it out of this hellscape. Now, I feel like I don't need to say anything else about the e.l.f. melting lip balm fiasco. I was going to take off 2 weeks from social media, to be honest with you. I was so annoyed. Literally, I went from being sad and people don't understand me to annoyed and then mad, because I was like, get the fuck out of my face. Literally, that's what I ended up thinking. Get the fuck out of my face. And I was like, I'm going to take some time off. I cannot be, do you know what I mean? I was like, I'm going to take some time off. And then Trump just kept being psychotic. And I was like, I can't take time off. I would love to, but I'm sorry. We need to talk about this shit, and we need to keep spreading the word. Me having a complex about e.l.f. melting balms when there is hellfire going on in this world right now, I had to get a grip. I'm not going to take 2 weeks off because someone hurt my feelings or I felt misunderstood. Honey, we're in a battle, and we don't rest. You know what I mean? We don't sleep. And honestly, I would like to get back to some of my fun content. I got these two. Now here's the thing. I might have to start meditating or something to get back to the fun content, because my mind is not fun right now. So it's a lot of me hyping myself into positivity to try to make fun content. But maybe I can start meditating. Maybe I can start reading some books, maybe some fun fantasy books. But I bought 2 new summer outfits. I'm going to see how they look. They're from American Eagle. They're $20. I like American Eagle's prices. They're really good. And I really am slowly but surely going to try to make a small shift. Because, Taylor came on my screen the other week and she had this really beautiful makeup on and really beautiful hairstyle and this really beautiful outfit. And I got really jealous. I feel like since oh my God, you guys, I'm a fucking damn lie. See how I said, oh, don't hold me to a standard. Well, here's what's the phrase? Clink, line, and sinker. Hook, line, and sinker. I'm like, we're not talking about politics. We're going to save it till the end. I haven't fucking shut up about, goddamn. And I have other stuff I'm going to get to. I literally promise you that. But the point is I'm like, I have to learn to stay on track. I have to learn to not just go wherever my mind takes me. How am I ever going to be a worldwide renowned podcaster if I can't even stick to my own rundown? I made it, for Christ's sakes. Anyways, I saw Taylor with this really beautiful light bright outfit on and really beautiful hair and makeup. And then I scrolled back to some of my posts when I had really beautiful light bright outfits on and makeup. And sometimes I dress up, but I feel like more times than not now when I post, like I'm in pajamas and I look like a witch. Like my hair is like straight down to my face, like dark around my face. And I have like these pajamas on and I'm like, let's talk about Trump. And like, I literally look like a psychotic old, like unhinged person. And then I scroll back to like a year and a half ago on my page where I'm like wearing all pastels and I have like highlights in my hair and like a really beautiful sun-kissed tan. And I'm like, let's talk about Hourglass blush today. And it's like, wow, I miss that girl desperately. Now I'm actually just like the liberal version of Satan. Okay, anyways, let's get off of that. I'm done talking about Elf. Elf, love you. Hi, if you want to sponsor me, love you so much. I literally almost had a nervous breakdown because of your lip oil, but it's okay because I realized we got bigger fish to fry, honey. Okay, let's talk about my attic remodel. As you know, my attic is being redone to be my podcast studio. Now, when I say remodel, what I mean is my boyfriend tore up the carpet with his own damn bare hands, okay? We just picked a color scheme. Now, when I say we, of course, I'm just bouncing it off of you guys. I posted a video bouncing it off my boyfriend, looking at different color schemes because I'm really torn between a classic timeless look and fucking fun, honey. Fun, get the confetti out. But I don't want to come off as clownish because believe it or not, I don't have good taste. I try very, very hard to be cute or to be chic or to be fun and colorful. I'm not a girl that decorates well. I can't imagine things. I can't imagine things in my mind. I have a hard time visualizing things. So I was having a really hard time nailing down my color scheme, but I nailed it down. I'm really happy with it. Hopefully it translates well. I'm not going to surprise you. Or I don't even know should I give a little tiny hint? Okay. Think French blue brass with pops of fun color. And that's all I'm going to leave it at, okay? Okay. Like, it's really exciting. But we got the paint. We're going to now me and my boyfriend are currently addicted to eating out. One of our favorite things in life, we say to each other every single day that we're going to be off, we are not going to brunch today. Or the next day, we are not going to brunch tomorrow. But then we wake up the next day and like literally all we want to do is have a cocktail and brunch. Because we recently discovered a few good restaurants in the city. We love oyster shooters. We discovered a new restaurant that has oyster shooters. I discovered a restaurant that has pickleback shots. And we just love to have a cocktail and eat really, really great food. But this Wednesday, which is today, the day that this airs, I technically recorded a day early. You guys know that. That's me breaking the fourth wall. So today, we are not going out to brunch. We are buckling down. We're going to put on our painting outfits and we're going to paint that goddamn attic. Attic. Wait, is it attic? Yeah, it's not an attic. We're going to paint that attic, okay? And then slowly but surely. Now, here's the thing. He ripped up the carpet because I don't know what those people did before we moved in here 7 years ago, but the attic looked like, I don't know what the fudge they were doing in that attic, but it was really like stained brown stuff on the floors. It was crazy. So the thing is, for me to have the acoustics that need to be had, I either need to get carpet installed, which my boyfriend is adamant he can do himself. And my dad said there's no way he would be able to do it. And he said he definitely can do it. And that, I don't know what to do. And I know my boyfriend listens. Hi. But he listens every week. And by the way, he said last week was my best episode yet ever. So wow, that was a big compliment. And I don't know if you guys agree with that or not, but he said last week was my best episode ever. Anyways, we're either going to get carpet installed, whether it be from a professional or my boyfriend, or we might buy big area rugs because carpet is going to be thousands of dollars. And I think I can get big area rugs for like hundreds of dollars, but there must be rug up there for the acoustics. I will not have an echoey podcast for you guys. I pride myself on the quality. I pride myself on it. But that's just a little sneak peek into the attic progress so far. Now, I do want to say that there's something going on in the atmosphere. I think I did something in karma. I think I'm having a karma issue right now. I don't know what I did. I don't know if all the negativity that I'm consuming is like a Kool-Aid and I was the water pitcher and then the negativity was the Kool-Aid and it got mixed around and now I am the negativity and the negativity is me. I don't know if that's my bad karma. I haven't done anything like evil to warrant bad karma, but here's what's been going on this week, okay? First and foremost, I was taking my dog outside, Coco. He's the big, fluffy, fat, white one. He is really overweight, okay? And we're trying hard to make him lose weight, but he likes snacks. It's really a challenge. I was carrying him down the stairs to go pee outside. And I really hate bugs. I'm really scared of bugs. It's like my biggest issue in life is me being a big, dumb, ugly, stupid baby about bugs. And I had Coco, he was about 4 inches from the ground because I was setting him down and a bug landed on my hand and I panicked. I fucking freaked out and I dropped Coco. And now Coco did land on his feet, which is good, but he hurt his front right paw, okay? And he was limping. So that's my first bit of karma, that I hurt my dog's leg. He has a vet appointment for Thursday. And hopefully it's nothing. Today he's walking even better on it. So I'm hoping even by tomorrow he's just totally fine. I'm hoping I just like pressed his joint in or something, and he's just like healing himself. But I felt really bad for doing that to my Cokie Papa. And then right after I dropped Coco, another bug landed right on my neck and I went like this. And I ripped my necklace off of my neck, my favorite necklace from a bodega in Brooklyn that has the C on it. I ripped it off of my neck. I broke my favorite necklace. Now, luckily, my boyfriend fixed it. Thank God. Then I broke out all on my chin. I haven't had a chin breakout in years. I haven't had a chin breakout. I don't know if that's because I got really into apple juice last week and I was drinking apple juice like crazy. That could be it. But I think it's karma. I don't think it's apple juice. And then you guys know I drive to Maryland sometimes in the mornings if I have to work and I'm in Pittsburgh, but I work the next day. I'll drive to Maryland really early. So this week I was driving to Maryland. And I thought it was weird on my GPS because I drive straight to the hospital and then I change in the car. I normally get there at 7 30 or 7:24 and my shift starts at 8. So normally like I'll get there, I'll get a breakfast. But this week I was looking and it was saying 7:45, 7:50. I thought, that's weird, but maybe there's traffic, maybe there's this, maybe there's that. Oh no. I got all the way to my destination and I didn't even realize I put my apartment address in Maryland in my GPS, which is a half hour away from the hospital. So I drove all the way to Maryland in the morning, hungry, stomach growling, thinking about getting a breakfast sandwich when I get to the hospital a half hour early, only to find out I drove to my apartment and then I had to turn around and go to the hospital. So I was 8 minutes late to my work. So I didn't even get a breakfast sandwich. And so all these things are happening. And then today, for the first time ever in my adult life, I felt a twinge in my tooth. In my tooth on this side, I felt a little twinge of pain. And I thought, am I getting a toothache? I've never even had a toothache in my life, you know? And so I don't know what is happening with karma. Either Mercury is in retrograde or karma's a bitch. I should have known better. And so I was Googling, how do you reverse karma? And this is some really disturbing things I found. One page said you can't even reverse karma. If it's on you for life, honey. Which is really scary to think about. 2, they said, oh, you have to do forgiveness. And who in the hell am I going to forgive? If I hate you, you deserve it. Like I'm a big proponent. Here's some unpopular opinions that I have. I'm a big proponent on it's absolutely okay to hate someone. I cannot stand when you're like, I hate them. And some like little freaking Betsy Boo is like, hate's a strong word. It's like, okay, guess what? I actually do hate people. I actually do literally will never forgive some people ever. Like, and I don't think it's this like crazy thing. I actually don't think hate is that strong of a word. I really don't. And I don't think it's this like really taboo thing. Sometimes you hate someone. I also think it's okay to say the C word. I'm just going to say it. So guess what? Sometimes people are C words and it's okay to say. It's not this insane thing. You know, it's like, it's just not that deep. You know what I mean? So I'm reading, okay, you have to forgive some people. Really? My most hated people right now are the administration. I'm not forgiving them. Sorry. Like, take my heart, lock it up, and throw away the key. I'm not forgiving them. Now, did I decide I'm going to try to slightly back off of maybe the back to back angry political posts? Yeah, I could do that. Even though yesterday I told someone I wouldn't piss on them if they were on fire. But I felt that way. Like I did. And so I was like, is that the karma that's coming back to me? You know, some girl, oh gosh. Okay. I'll get it. I can't get into politicking right now. Okay. I'll come back to that story. Okay. About the girl I said I wouldn't piss on you if you're on fire. And I know that that's vulgar, but guess what? We're in vulgar times. I hate to say it. Okay. Let's get in. Oh, wait. You know what? I think that's enough of a catch up. We're 34 minutes in, for Christ's sakes. Let's get into some tequila time. Ra-ta-ta-ta-ta. Ra-ta-ta-ta-ta. Woo! Ra-ta-ta-ta-ta. Ra-ta-ta-ta-ta. First and foremost, let's start off with a fun story. Coachella's here, baby, and they're partying in the desert. Is it in Palm Springs? I'm not sure. It's somewhere I can't afford. Oh. Now, this is the things I've been enjoying about Coachella so far. First and foremost, Glamzilla is there. Glamzilla is one of my favorite follows. She is a girly. She's like a try-on, or she's like a comfort creator makeup girly, Glamzilla. And she's really fun, really light, really bright, really airy, really cute, really, on authentic. And she is from Canada, which I love, because when she's talking about blush, I'm like, yeah, go off, girl. Like, you don't have to worry about us politically. Like, I can enjoy her content without being like, oh, why aren't you talking about what's going on right now? Do you know what I mean? Like, she's not our problem. You know what I mean? Or we're not her problem. She's just going to keep doing her. Okay. Also, Bran Flakes is there, and I'm really enjoying his content as well. Again, light, bright, fun, laughing. Bran Flakes is also someone I've been incredibly jealous of lately, because I found that he is also able to really integrate his fun, light content with also periodically coming on and saying literally fuck you if you like Donald Trump. So he's also someone I've been really, really jealous of lately, because he's been able to really have his fun content, and still like let us know what he stands for politically. Okay. Now, this is what I really want to talk about with Coachella. Bernie Sanders took the stage Saturday night, and I freaking loved it, honey. I woke up Sunday morning. For the first time, I woke up and checked my phone, and the news actually had something semi-positive on it, okay? Now, I've heard some people say, I posted a video on this and it got shadow banned, and so I'll just say it here. There is some political purist activism going on right now where there's some people that if you are against Trump and you stand up against Trump, unless you yourself are like perfect or align with someone 100% politically, they want you to be a perfect beacon of whatever they stand for. And if you don't, then you can go to hell too, along with the administration. And I'm just simply not subscribing to that right now. That cannot happen right now. These people running the country are evil, diabolical, crime against humanity, psychopath, oligarchy, billionaire, evil men, abusers, assaulters, greedy, vile people. So you may not agree with every single thing Bernie Sanders does, or Cory Booker does, or AOC does, but you in no way, shape, or form can compare or say, well, I disagree with this one thing that they did, or this one thing that they voted on, or this one thing that they stood for. So therefore, you cannot represent us and you cannot speak out against the administration because you yourself are not perfect. Because that, my friends, is how we will never find ourselves out of the situation we are currently in. Okay? So Bernie Sanders hit the stage at Coachella Saturday night speaking to the youth. Now, I heard a lot of people say, like, what the fuck is that going to do? Like, this is all so performative. It's all such bullshit. Like, the youth already don't really like Trump. Like, people at Coachella don't really like Trump. Yeah, we know. That's fine. Like, do you understand it made headline news? Do you understand that Bernie Sanders has been only going to red-pilled MAGA towns? He already is trying to reach the people that did vote for Trump. At the same exact time, the next generation of change is the young people. So he does do a rally in LA. He does do a show up to Coachella. Some of it is hitting the ground, going to the places that no one else is going to and speaking out against the oligarchy, which he does 75% of the time. 25% of the time, he knows he has to play the game and also go to these really liberal places, or, places that don't really need their mind changed, but he wants to keep that audience engaged as well. Like, it's really not that deep. It was a fun, interactive, hopeful, inspired thing that he did. And I really appreciated that. I really, really, really did. Now, Lady Gaga performed. Apparently that was like wild, and Lady Gaga's back. Now, I have bad news for Lady Gaga. Not that she has to listen to me in any way, shape, or form, but I do want to say, she needs to never make a movie again. She took time off of music, which I'm so happy that she followed her dreams and did movies. But now she's back with her album Mayhem. And she cannot come back to the music scene how she has, so invigorated, so alive, so authentic, and expect us to like tolerate her leaving again for 5 more years and going and doing films. Like, I was really, I mean, you guys know how I said last summer, like the Chapel Roan and the Charlie XCX, just were, the music was good, but like I always just felt like they were like tortured doing it. Lady Gaga is the opposite. Like, I want to watch someone who seems like they want to be there. And Lady Gaga not only seems like she wanted to be there, it seems like she wanted to, like, if she could have went face to face to every single individual concert goer and sang directly to them, she would have. And I really appreciated that. And then Meg Thee Stallion also performed, which her dance moves, I love Meg Thee Stallion. She is one of my absolute top favorite artists of our generation. She is so fun. She is so fresh. She is so light. She's so bright. Literally how I describe her is like, she seems to me like a girl's girl. She seems to me like the type, because this is me. This is like, I'm a grandma and I want to be in bed and home by like 7 p.m. Like, dinner reservations at 5 p.m., honey. Unless I'm in New York, then I become a different woman. But I'm the type, like, dinner reservations by 5, on the couch watching Sopranos by 7. But if I am going out, if I am with my friends, if we are out partying, if I am at the Eras tour, if I am on vacation, oh, you think we're going to bed at 1 a.m.? We're going to bed fucking Thursday, bitch. Like, we're having a fucking party. And most of my friends, I have to drag to even do that. Like, you know, they'll be like, I want to go home. Like, I was in Boston once and it was like 11 o'clock at night. I'm like, let's go to the freaking North End, girls. And everyone's like, no, I don't want to go to the North End. Like, Meg Thee Stallion to me seems like she would be the one with me. Like, let's go, girls. We're freaking going. Her energy, I would love to know what vitamins she takes. Meg Thee Stallion, if you're watching this, can you let me know if you take vitamins or what you're taking for your energy and enthusiasm and clear skin? Like, there's something about you. Maybe you get vitamin drip bags. There's something about you that is so intoxicatingly energetic. And I would love to know what that is. I think you do Pilates. If that's it, Christ, I mean, I guess I can do Pilates. It's going to be so hard. But I do know I decided I need to start reading a little bit and exercising. As much as it pains me to say I have to start exercising, I really do. I mean, this week, one of the really crazy things I did this week, and I wasn't going to do it. I was going to drive up to Maryland the night before, and then like 6 o'clock hit and I simply couldn't bear it. Like, I was supposed to drive up to Maryland Sunday night, and I was like all day long, like, I'm driving to Maryland, I'm driving to Maryland, I'm driving to Maryland. I'm going to leave at like 5 o'clock and I'll get there at 9, a reasonable hour, because I worked Monday morning. And I couldn't do it. I couldn't bear to drive at 6 o'clock at night. So what did I do? I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning Monday. I drove 4 hours to work. I got to work at 8 a.m. Then I worked 12 hours till 8:30 p.m. And then I didn't want to sleep in Maryland that night. No, I wanted to be home. I wanted to see my dogs. I wanted to make sure my cookie papa was okay. I wanted to see my boyfriend. And guess what I did? Then I drove back to Pittsburgh that night. That is 8.5 hours of driving plus a 12.5 hour shift. That is, can someone do the math? Hold on. How many hours is that? 12 hours plus 8. Okay, is that 20 hours? I'm really bad at math. I think that's 20 hours of being awake. And let's be real, 21 hours, because it's 4 hours and 10 minutes each way, but like I stop, so time gets added on. I was awake for 21 hours to this 2 days yesterday. And then I'm sitting here like, how's Meg Thee Stallion have so much energy? And it's like, let's fucking be real, girl. Take a goddamn vitamin, sleep a little bit more, and freaking exercise, girl. Like, who am I joking? Why am I so confused by this? I'm literally like sitting there like, oh, how do I make the house not on fire anymore? Someone's like, water. And I'm like, gasoline? Like, that's literally who I am. I'm just a dumb ding dong. Anyways, I was really happy to see some of the Coachella content this weekend. It made me feel a little fun and a little cool and a little reprieve. In general, though, a lot of the other Coachella content, I literally was like, don't care, 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 don't care. I don't know why I don't care this year. Well, I know why. Let's not get into it. Next, this is a really short story, the shortest tequila time you'll ever get. Taylor Ann Green from Southern Charm is not returning for season 11. And to that I say good riddance. She was really a drag and she was not a girl's girl this year. And honestly, she came off as Ms. Rayab. I know Shep hurt her deeply. I think she needs to take some time off and get therapy because the first few seasons that she was on with Shep, she was really a light. And then this last season, she was just absolutely not a girl's girl. And she was really being mean to some of the new cast members. And she seemed really dark. And I know that that's maybe I'm not giving her enough grace. You know, maybe Shet really did just break her and I don't really know. But I don't think that means you have to be like mean to girls who aren't doing anything to you. So I don't really know, but I'm happy she's not coming back because she was coming off as a mean girl. You know what I mean? And I'm just not into that. Sometimes you can be a mean girl and that's totally fine. But being a mean girl for actually no reason and like she was always just like always like reporting back to the boys. And I'm like, in what world are we reporting back to the boys of Southern Charm? Like that's just not it. So bye, Taylor Ann Green. I hope you find peace and I hope whatever Shep did to you, you can get over, but cope with, because you were really a nice girl these prior seasons, and I don't know what happened this season, but it just was not good. Nextly, Katy Perry, Gayle King, and Lauren Sanchez went to space. Now, I'm leaving out the other women who went to space because I actually think they probably are well-intentioned. Gayle King probably is well-intentioned too, but Jeff Bezos's Blue Origin had the first all-female crew go to space, and it's painted all over the newspapers like we're supposed to give a flying fucking goddamn rip. And I'm here to say, I don't give a rip. I don't give a damn. I don't give a fuck. Okay? Let me tell you something. One thing that I oh my God, we're having a full circle moment. I'm talking about how I have really bad karma right now. And I was just about to say one thing that has come out about this administration is it's actually allowed you to be able to be fully straight up mean and have little remorse for it. And I was just about to say, ugly Katy Perry and ugly Lauren Sanchez went to space and I wasn't going to feel bad about it. And I think I am still going to say that. And maybe that's why my karma is bad right now. But an all-female crew went to space. They acted like this was some huge moment for women as women are dying and bleeding out from botched abortions, as states are ripping away women's rights. And I know it's so crazy to always make everything political. I understand that, but it's just the truth right now. They're trying to make it seem like this is a huge step for women, that an all-female crew went to space backed by a billionaire who doesn't give a fuck about women. And you think I'm going to fall for this propaganda? Let me say that one more time. Propaganda. As the administration is passing things like the SAFE Act, which are going to make it exponentially more difficult for married women to vote. It is going to make women who change their last names exponentially more difficult to vote. You're going to have to prove citizenship. Your ID is going to have to match your birth certificate. Your ID can't match your birth certificate if your last name is changed. Okay? Women's rights to safe abortion are being taken away. And you want me to act like it's a huge step for women to go to space by a private company's spaceship dreams. It's not. I don't care. Katy Perry taking a little daisy to space and twirling it in front of the camera, as last year she worked with a alleged essayist who allegedly R-worded Kesha, who allegedly R-worded Lady Gaga, and she decided to work with that producer, allegedly, in my opinion, and you think she's going to come onto my screen and twirl a fucking daisy in my face and act like I'm supposed to give a shit? Please. Let me tell you something. Climate change is real. Evil billionaires are real. Wasting fuck you money to go up to space for 11 minutes so your ego can be boosted and you can get a photo op is a pathetic embarrassment, waste of resources. Emily Ratajkowski? That's it. Emrata. Yeah, Emily Ratajkowski was right. It's an embarrassment. You're killing the planet. You're ignoring the humanitarian crises around the world. And you think I give a goddamn about your 11 minutes in space? And let me tell you something else. These women came off the spaceship and kissed the ground. Please, get a fucking grip, ladies. Get your goddamn hands and knees off the floor, stand up straight, and act like you didn't just do something that was so goddamn stupid, a waste of time, a waste of money. You are trying to paint all the news stories as, like, oh, look what we did. We went to space in full glam. Shut the fuck absolute up, please. Like, honestly, it's embarrassing. And I would like to say shout out to Olivia Munn, who was the first person a week ago to say that this was a joke. And then I felt like that allowed other people to come out and be very comfortable in saying, like, honey, no one thinks this is feminism. We think it's a waste of money. We think it's a waste of time. And we think it's a waste of resources. And we think if you have billions and billions and billions of dollars, instead of spending billions of dollars to go fuck around in space for 11 minutes, why don't you, I don't know, feed half the world that's fucking starving to death? I'm sorry, Lauren Sanchez. I see those big fucking pillowy lips and your big fucking brown eyes. Why don't you look in Jeff Bezos's eyes while you're petting his little bald head and say, honey, shouldn't we feed the poor people? He'll listen to you. Like, hello. But instead, you want to try to be famous and you want to try to rub elbows with the other famous people and you want to hodgepodge with the Kardashians and you want to go to space. Imagine being a billionaire and not helping literally everybody. Like, it's so funny. There's these like tropes online, these like online like evil billionaires, and it turns out they actually are evil. Imagine being a billionaire and just not wanting to actually help people and make the world a better place. And if someone says, if anyone comes to me and says, oh, well, oh no, they're exploring the stratosphere for living on different planets and it's actually research. Stop. Don't insult me. Don't insult me, please. I can't even deal with that right now. Okay. So that's my thoughts on Blue Origin. Also, Khloe Kardashian and Kris Jenner were there to watch it. Embarrassment, a joke. Again, billionaires that waste all their time and money and resources, or hundreds of millionaires that waste all their time, money, and resources. And I'm just so sick of, I'm sick of the lot of them. I'm sick of all of them. Not all of them. Some I'm not sick of yet. Bill Burr, Mark Cuban, Stanley Tucci, Angelina Jolie, Zendaya, Meg Thee Stallion, Pedro Pascal, Cillian Murphy, Jeff Goldblum. I could keep going. So I'm not sick of all of them, but I'm sick of some of them. Okay, next. Actually, I think that's enough tequila time. I had another little... I want to talk about Paige DeSorbo and Hannah Berner, but I have so many other things to talk about. But the Paige and Hannah thing is timely. Okay, I'll quickly say it. God damn, I'm not even halfway through my rundown. Okay, but don't worry, it won't be a 2-hour episode, but I'm just saying I'm going to have to start rushing here for Christ's sakes. Some weeks there's so much stuff to talk about, and some weeks there's nothing to talk about. Okay. And the funny thing is we're getting into the slow season, which is summer, which is really scary because I'm actually currently in a slow season. So if things keep slowing down for me even more, honey, what am I right now? A content creator? I might just be a damn content by the summer. Like, we can't slow down any more than I'm already slowed down, okay? Paige and Hannah are currently on a press tour right now. I think it's because their new book is being released. In fact, I know that's why. They were on Jimmy Fallon. They were on ABC, I believe, doing interviews. I would just like to say 2 things. One, both of these women were fired at some points in their life. Hannah was fired from Betches. Apparently, Paige was fired from ABC, I'm guessing. That's what the headlines are all saying. Like, Paige on the network, she was fired from or something. I think she was like an intern or something. I'm really not sure. I didn't look into it. I was trying to stay off the internet before I recorded today as to not become evil, which is funny because I'm still talking about politics, but I'm not evil. And I was supposed to not even talk about politics at all yet. So I've really fucked up so far. Anyways, both of these women were fired from jobs in their life. And I would just like you to really sit in that and reflect, because look at them now. So if you have ever been fired, if you have ever been threatened by your bosses, if you have ever been made to feel like you're not a good employee, you're not a good little girl doing your job, you're not working extra for less money, you're such a bad little girl, you're the worst employee, why can't you be more complicit? Why can't you be more easygoing? Why can't you just go with the flow? Please look at these women and use them as something to aspire to, okay? We all have a passion. This is what I want you to do. If money didn't exist, hiring didn't exist, objects didn't exist in any way, shape, or form, what would you be doing as to take up your time? Would it be knitting? Would it be podcasting? Would it be content creation? Would it be teaching children? Would it be walking dogs? What is it that you would do to occupy your time as a career if you didn't have to go through the hodgepodge of the red tape? And then take that, because both of these women tried to do the traditional paths. Hannah was in marketing, for Christ's sakes. And you know what? They either got fired, they moved on, they this, they that. They were constantly hit with hurdles. And then what did they still do? They followed their dreams, they followed their passion, and now they're doing the worm on Jimmy Fallon. And let me not get into my thoughts on the late night talk show men all having the same general appearance, name, and demeanor. It's giving clone, and it's giving, I'm not serious, I don't think clones exist, but it's giving something. It's giving suspicion. It seems like you need a talk show host named Chloe. Just joking. I don't want to be a talk show host. I would like to be a podcaster for the girls or nothing at all. I don't want to sit there with the stupid cue cards being like, oh, so tell me. No, I just want to talk to the girls, honey. I want to have a cruise one day like Heather McMahon. Although, I am scared of cruise ships. I'm sure if I drank, I would get over it. So that's what I wanted to say. And I also wanted to say, I think everyone owes Paige DeSorbo a big fat fucking apology, except for me and other people that didn't lose their damn minds. Because when Paige announced their breakup, not Craig, he stayed silent. When Paige announced their breakup, at first everyone was like, okay, Paige, following your heart. And then rumors came about that Paige really cheated on Craig, and that's why they broke up. And Craig didn't say anything to defend her. And everyone started coming after Paige and saying, oh, maybe she did cheat. Maybe she is just this evil reality TV woman. And now in hindsight, as we're watching Summer House play out, she broke up with Craig because Craig was a certified hater who didn't want her to spread her wings and made her feel bad about all of her accomplishments. Now, where's the online fodder now? Where's the chatter now? Where's the rollback? No wonder Paige was so goddamn mad at Craig. Paige broke up with Craig because Craig couldn't be happy for her or give her her stars. He's the reason they broke up. He was a certified hater. And then the internet said it must be the woman cheating. And instead of coming to her defense, he just let that narrative run on the internet that Paige must be a cold-hearted cheater. And it turns out she was just someone who was setting standards for herself that she wasn't willing to compromise on. Now, I think it's really perfect that I brought up Paige DeSorbo because in my sentiment of absolutely not being your beacon of perfectionism, there was also drama during the inauguration about Paige DeSorbo because she liked a Vogue post with Ivanka Trump in her inauguration dress. I think it was Ivanka, yeah. Okay. And so there was a lot of chatter about, where does Paige stand? Because, like, for me, you wouldn't catch me fucking dead liking a dress that Ivanka Trump was wearing on Vogue. I don't give a shit if it was plated in gold. Okay. But it made an interesting conversation. And now Paige is a fashion girly. Was it really just because it was Vogue? Did she not even see who it was? Was it really just the dress that she liked? Did she know it was Ivanka, but she just liked the dress? Or maybe she just likes Ivanka and doesn't relate Ivanka to Trump? There's all these conversations going on. And now this is where it comes in of setting a expectation and a standard. Okay. Unless it comes to me that Paige actually is like in any way, shape, or form liking the administration, I refuse to believe with everything I have watched of Paige throughout the years, her feminism, her like strong independent woman who works and doesn't need a man, and women use your voice, and women this and women that. I just cannot. I'm going to assume that was either a mistake or it was her dumb fashion over prioritizing, like not supporting the administration or his family at all. Like, that is a perfect example to me of nothing about Paige in any way has ever led me to believe that she's like a red pill, except the one single like, and I'm going to reserve assuming that means that she is red pilled, because every single other thing about her does not say that, and it does not scream that. And her and Hannah are best friends. And I know Hannah is not red pilled. So like, that's a good example of like, we need to hate the right people right now. And unless it's like someone like Savannah Chrisley, who's literally like MAGA minded out of her fucking dumb mind, which don't even get me started on Savannah Chrisley. I used to want your parents to get out of jail, and now you don't give a fuck. That's, and again, I'm re-answering where my karma is coming from. It's like stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, I used to be like, oh, free Todd and whatever. And now I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Hannah, Savannah, like, with your MAGA hats, like, honey, bye. You know what I mean? Anyways, that was a little tangent. So that was my little thing I wanted to say about tequila time. Now, we have a new segment called Trust Clo Go. Trust Clo Go. Now, what is that? Is that one word I'm saying? What is that? Now, let me say it slower for you. Trust, Clo, go. No, that's a sentence I'm saying. Trust me, Chloe, and go. Trust Clo. Go to this place. That is my new segment where I recommend something to you guys. Now, I'm a big foodie. I'm a big traveler. And there's some places that I've acquired and accumulated that I really love. And if I could ever spread the word on recommending places, maybe you could keep a note in your phone, different towns, different cities that I could recommend to you guys. And then if you ever visit that town, city, or maybe you could even I have a big plan in the summer. I'm going to do a full episode on on a New York City, what's it called? Agenda? A New York City planner? A New York City trip? I don't know what it's called. I'm going to give you, like, if you ever want to go to New York City, I'm going to give you a whole agenda. Like, this is where you can stay. This is the places I recommend. These are the restaurants I recommend. These are the hotels. This is the parking garage by the hotel. This is the comedy club I would recommend. This is this. This is it. Like, I'm going to give you a whole rundown because I want to have an evergreen episode in the summer whenever I go on vacation, because it's not going to be able to be timely, but I still want to post something. So this week for Trust Clo Go, I want to recommend this new soup dumpling restaurant that opened in Pittsburgh. Now, fret not. I believe it might be a chain, maybe. So I'm gonna spell the name for you because I don't want to botch it. It's Nan, I believe, space ZIANG. I don't know how to say that word. Nanang, I'm not sure. Soup dumplings. That is in the south side of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The exact address, because I hate when people recommend stuff on podcasts and they say it really like, oh, I recommend blah, blah, and I'm like, I don't even know what you just said. So I'm being really crystal clear because I want to give to you guys what I wish to receive. The address is 2773 Sydney Street, Pittsburgh, PA 15203. We do not have a lot of good soup dumpling places in Pittsburgh. I learned to love a good soup dumpling from Boston. It is very hard to come by those in Pittsburgh, and this new soup dumpling place just opened in the south side. I've been there 3 times in 2 weeks. Everything I get from there is out of this motherfucking stratosphere. The soup dumplings, steamy hot. They have vinegar on the table so you can put vinegar on your dumplings. The cucumber salads, the noodles, everything. It's unbelievable. I cannot stress to you enough how freaking bombastic this restaurant is. And it does seem to be chainy to me, like in the way of like, I think there's several across the country. So Google that and see if there's any in your area. And if you ever do come to Pittsburgh or you're from Pittsburgh, I highly, highly, highly recommend this. I recommend the pork soup dumplings. I recommend the cucumber salad. I recommend the pepper steak. I do recommend their peach lover cocktail, which is really fabulous. So I just wanted to do a little recommendation for you guys because I think that that's fun. And one thing I love doing, honey, is eating and traveling. And so if I can give you guys recommendations, I think that that would be fab. Now, I do want to say we are on 1 hour and 7 minutes. I have a summer house recap that I wanted to go through. I'm going to quickly just talk about Carl Radke. Carl Radke in Summer House had a really emotional episode this week. And just to be transparent, my Alani has fully hit my bladder. And I'm in a struggle. I'm struggling. I mean, my eyes are watering. I don't know if you can tell. I have to pee so deeply and desperately that it's becoming a psychotic moment right now, but I'm going to just try to power through this, okay? Carl Radke had a particularly difficult week on Summer House this week. It was the anniversary of his brother's death. His brother died from addiction. I would just like to say, Carl Radke, who's from Pittsburgh, you will never make me hate that man. It boggles my mind every season when the online rhetoric around Carl Radke is like, oh, he's such a faker. He's such a, because Carl Radke used to be a big, huge drinker, a coke addict, self-proclaimed, this is all things he said, partier, cheater, really a party animal, really bad decisions, slight womanizer. His brother passed away on the show. His brother wasn't on the show, but his brother passed away while he was filming. He ended up getting clean, making huge changes in his life. He's been sober for several years now, works out, prioritizes his health. He's very, he tries to be super like reflective or like maybe even a little muted. And I think people think that comes off as like, contrived or faking or manipulative or inauthentic. This man is a recovering addict who every single day fights for his sobriety, fights for mental peace, and does things like work out and meditate to try to stay clear and sober. And so it really shocks me every year that the internet comes out and says, like, he's so manipulative, he's so calculated. Yes, if you're on a show about drinking and partying, you need to be calculated in how you consume things and give things off so that you don't succumb to the partying environment. So yes, he might be very calculated that he wakes up every morning at 7 a.m. and goes to Barry's boot camp and runs. And when the girls are fighting, says he needs to go, meditate or like, yeah. I mean, if that's what you want to call calculating, I call it being mature in setting standards and boundaries for yourself so that you don't slip back into old habits. If you want to call that calculating, I call that being one of the only men on the entire Bravo network that matured and changed. Women always demand these party playboys change, and then they change, and then you guys call them faker calculators. Like, I really don't understand that. But I like Carl Radke. He had a really emotional moment where he was reflecting on his brother's death. I think if you are an addict and you get sober, we should do nothing but lift you up. And I think if you lost someone to drugs and alcohol, the last thing we should do is be hypercritical of how you then act around drugs and alcohol. Like, can we give that man a fucking goddamn break? And I would also like to say his bar that he's opening in Brooklyn, Soft Bar, that's going to be an alcoholic-free bar, I will be going there. Like, my boyfriend, I barely have to... when I say to my boyfriend, should we take a trip to New York? Like, he can't say yes fast enough. So that bar that he's opening, the non-alcoholic bar in Brooklyn, that everyone says is a dumb idea... it's a waste of money. It's a waste of time. No one would want to go to an alcohol-free bar. Well, I'll be there. And by the way, don't we all fucking go to coffee shops? I know I've said this before on the podcast. Like, it's a coffee shop, but you don't have to drink fucking coffee, which thank God. Do you know how many times I want a fun drink that is not coffee? Literally all the time. Look at my Alani, for Christ's sakes. Like, to me, that sounds like a dream. Sometimes at 2 p.m., on a sunshiny day, when you don't want to have any alcohol, guess what you want? A rosemary hibiscus spritz. And I bet they'll have it. Okay. Now, quickly, this week's Sva Sva, chic, c'est la vie, Sva Sva, is Carl Radke coming off of that little rant. I love Carl Radke. I think he is a great example of other Bravo men on how to get your shit together. Now, does he have like the most stable job or this or that? No, but actually, yes, he's a fucking reality TV star. He does have a stable job. I understand he doesn't have a 9 to 5. He's a reality TV star on one of the most successful TV shows literally on Bravo. Okay? Like, that is his job. So actually, he does have a stable job. For Christ's sakes. I think it's lovely that someone can get sober, be vulnerable on TV, show his emotions, cry, and follow his dreams, even though everyone's saying that it's a bad idea and it's dumb. I like that he's following his dreams. I like that he cried on camera about his brother and opened up. I love that he's writing a book that's being released later this year, I believe. I love that he's opening a soft bar in Brooklyn. And I love that was the first time Lindsay confronted Carl about potentially him cheating on her last summer. That was like the quickest end to a conversation that ever happened. She's like, "Did you cheat on me?" He's like, "No." She's like, "Prove it." And he's like, "Here's the messages." And then it was done. I loved that so much. So this week's Sva Sva goes to Carl. I thought he fucking crushed it. Dealing with addiction is hard, and you are a king for how you are handling it. Now, very, 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 very quickly, I know I said I was only going to talk about politics in the end of the episode. Here we are. I did sprinkle it basically throughout the whole thing. So sorry. I was so sorry about that, because I was really trying to give you a reprieve this week, but every week becomes more crazy. So I'm going to quickly do a little politicking segment. I would like to say, if you have not seen the video of Donald Trump and the president of El Salvador in the Oval Office, where they are cackling and chuckling with each other, two evil men cackling with each other. If you don't know, Kilmer Abrego Garcia was illegally deported to El Salvador. He is originally from El Salvador, I believe, but he was granted withholding of removal from the United States, which means in 2019, a court ruled that he could not be deported back to El Salvador. It is very similar to political asylum, but it is not quite political asylum. It is basically that there is a plausible risk of your life if you return to your home country. And that was what he was granted, withholding of removal, which means he could not be sent back there. The administration wrongfully and illegally sent him back there. And he is not going to be returned to America. The president of El Salvador said he will not be returned to America. The Supreme Court told Donald Trump he must facilitate his return, to which Donald Trump said he has no power, no. Now, I don't know how for the last 100 motherfucking goddamn years we have been able to do political prisoner swaps with Russia, other countries that are evil. Well, you know what? I shouldn't say that a whole country is evil, because a lot of the citizens are victims of their political affiliations. So what I mean is Vladimir Putin is an evil person, and we have done prisoner swaps with him. They notoriously treat their prisoners horribly, torture them, and have extremely cruel and inhumane treatment of their prisoners. So if we're able to do prison swaps and spy swaps and everything with other countries, why can't we facilitate? Because you're cackling with the president of El Salvador in your office. I thought you were the big bad president who could end any war in 24 hours. You can't get one little man back to this country? I thought you were the big dog. I thought you could do anything. Oh, and by the way, last time I checked, the Palestinians are still being hellfired on every single day. I thought you could end that war in 24 hours. No, I guess you couldn't. I guess we are just going to still let Palestinians be freaking... See, it's like, I don't know what words I'm allowed to say or not without things being like suppressed and shadow banned. Palestinians are being victims of war crime. Let me say that, because I don't want to say the wrong word, okay? I know what word I want to say, which is the G word, but I don't know if I can. Actually, fuck it. Palestinians are having a genocide put on them, right? I thought you could end that in a day. I thought the war in Russia and Ukraine you were going to end in a day. I thought you were a big man on campus. I guess you're not. Or you actually are, and you don't give a shit, and you don't want Kilmer Abrego Garcia back in this country. And so you're just saying, oh, I can't do anything. But really, you and the El Salvadorian president are like cackling like, yeah, you think that we're going to give him back? We don't. And then Trump's like, that's what we don't even want him back. You know, like, there's so many different aspects going on right now. The Supreme Court said that he must come back. He's directly going against that. We are now in what people are calling a constitutional crisis, because it was also ruled that Trump could not bar the Associated Press from the White House, and the Associated Press just tried to go in for freedom of press into the White House for a briefing, and they were barred from entering. So there are now several Supreme Court rulings that the administration is simply ignoring, and the Supreme Court rules on constitutional basis. So we're saying things like constitutional crisis. What that really means is we are in a full-fledged, if you were wondering if there was a question, we are in a full-fledged dictatorship, a full-fledged fascist takeover, a full-fledged utilitarian type of regime. And no one cares. No one's doing anything about it. The Supreme Court is ruling in favor of the Constitution, but then Trump breaks it and they're not enacting anything. A lot of people are saying it's the Supreme Court's attempt to save face. I actually don't care if these people are returned. They don't care that Trump is breaking the Constitution, but they have to act like they care, so they'll rule. But when he breaks it, they just simply don't do anything. So I do want to just say this is real. It is happening. The Constitution is supposed to, I mean, I thought we couldn't get gun laws for the last 50 years. We just let kids in elementary schools be ruthlessly and brutally attacked in their own homeroom classrooms. And we could never, ever put a stop to it because the Constitution, hey, that's our right. The right to bear arms. We can't go against that. We just have to let the kids keep being, brutally murdered in their homeroom classes because the Constitution, unless it's about deporting a Venezuelan or an El Salvadorian or a Mexican, then fuck the Constitution. That's the sentiment. So I would say to the girls and guys right now that are having a really hard time with this, you are valid. If you want to stay and keep spreading the word, spread the word. I don't think it's a bad idea to actually legitimately start to plan leaving. I'm just being honest. The way things are going, just straight up ignoring the Constitution. And if you say I'm fear-mongering, I want to clear my throat. Hold on, I'm going to drink an Alani. Hold on one second. If you want to say I'm fear-mongering, fuck you. Let me say that one more time. If you want to say I'm fear-mongering, fuck you. I don't think you guys think I'm fear-mongering. I'm just getting out my feelings. There's a constitution which we are supposed to abide by. Trump is now directly going against constitutional rulings, Supreme Court rulings. He is ignoring the branches of government. The branches of government are what allow us to not become a dictatorship. It's important to fully understand what's happening right now. So it is not a bad idea for us to, in real life now, actually start to think about whether we want to stay and hope and pray for the best, or if we want to leave while we can. And I know that's heavy and I know that's a lot, but it's the truth of the fact of the matter. We have to start to be realistic about what's going on here. And so I don't know what the right answer is, besides, moving to Japan. I love Japan or Mexico, but I think Mexico said they're not going to take American refugees. So I'm not sure. Now, let's try to end on a little bit of a high note. I will say that if you're looking for any really good outfits from Coachella, I would recommend looking up Sierra Miller from Summer House. She's killing it, and I love her micro skirts that she wears. Let's try to end on a little bit of a high here. Also, the first Monday in May is coming up, and we all know that is the Met Gala, which I'm really, really looking forward to this year. And I will say that keep your head above water. If anyone knows how to flip back any karma, I don't know. I think I'm going to have to stop calling MAGA women ugly. Is that it? Is that going to reverse my karma? I don't know. But I will keep you updated on my dog Coco's leg. I can't wait to show you guys my new attic studio. And until next week, rate, review, subscribe, share, like, follow, rate, review. Bye.